Coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya. This is Newsfeed right here at TV 47. It is the second day of November. I trust that you are doing well, and welcome to the bulletin. Quite a number of stories lined up for you. My name is Stanley Nyeringita. Welcome. Now, the Ministry of Education has committed itself to distributing relief food to drought-stricken children across the country. The program will also support children in informal settlements. Education CS Ezekiel Machogu has flagged off food that is going to reach over 2 million children in SL areas and informal settlements of the country. The consignment flagged off today will reach some of the children tomorrow, and it will last for a month. The National Drought Management Authority, NDMA, says the drought situation continues to worsen in 20 counties.
We want to make sure as a government that our school-going children have food. There are two modalities in which we give the school feeding program. One is cash transfer, and the other one is in kind. So the one we are giving out today, the lorries we are dispatching is in kind. We are dispatching 4,313 metric tons of rice. We are also dispatching 1,150 metric tons of beans, 147 metric tons of vegetable oil. We are also dispatching 57 metric tons of salt, because each and every month we ensure that we send out these consignments.
And still on the same matters, residents of Kilifi County that were affected by drought have continued to receive relief food as the Kilifi County government begins a new program to curb the disaster. Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro launched a convoy of 20 trucks to ship relief food and drought support in the affected areas. Mung'aro emphasized on tree planting, saying it is one of the ways to fight drought in the country. At the same time, it has been noted that at least 4 million Kenyans have been affected by drought in the country. According to the Deputy Director of Red Cross, Annette Msabeni, at least 300,000 citizens have been affected in the coast region.
Tunajaribu kuona mbinu badala za kupatia watu mbinu ya kutengeza ama kutengeza biashara nyingine ili waache kuchoma makaa.
Kuna mipango inawekwa mahususi, kwa maana katika kijijini kuna watu wetu pale tunawaita ward administrators, kuna machiefs, tunafanya kazi na serikali kuu, kuna waheshimiwa wetu MCA, kuna kamati kule vijijini ambayo imesetiwa kando ili kuhakikisha inaweza kuidentify wale watu wote ambao wameathirika, ili chakula inapofika sehemu ile watu wale ambao wanahusika ambao wameathirika hao ndio wanapata chakula.
Situation in the country as regards the drought is very bad. It's worsening day by day. Today we are talking nationally of about 4.35 million Kenyans in need of humanitarian assistance, either through water, through food, or through health interventions in response to the drought. Particularly here in the coast region, we have over 678,000 people who are affected by the drought, and the numbers are increasing. They're getting.
And some other matters, outgoing permanent secretaries Belio Kipsang and Charles Hing are set to make a comeback to join President William Ruto's elite team if approved by the various committees of the National Assembly. In an executive action, President William Ruto has appointed 51 names which majorly constitute his loyalists, like former Lang'ata MP Nixon Korir and also Professor Edward Kisiang'ani, who was in the Kenya Kwanza communication team. In the office of the Deputy President, Julius Korir is set to head the State Department for Cabinet Affairs, while Teresia Mbaika Maloko will spearhead the State Department for Devolution. The Ministry of Defense has one PS slot, which will be filled by Patrick Mariro if he is added in the yes list by the National Assembly. The vetting of the PSs is expected to commence after the conclusion of the elections of House committees of the National Assembly. Right, and moving on, President William Ruto, Commander-in-Chief of Kenya's Defense Forces, has flagged off Kenya's military contingent to join other East Africa Community states' militaries in restoring peace and stability in the affected areas of the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo. President Ruto reaffirmed Kenya's commitment in restoring stability in the war-torn areas of the mineral-rich DRC. This is President Ruto's first military deployment.
On mission! On mission! Always ready! On mission! It is our collective responsibility to keep our region and our continent safe, and it is our responsibility to confront criminals, terrorists, and all negative elements, including armed groups that terrorize our region, denying us the opportunity and the possibilities that exist in our region for prosperity, for growth, and for development. In that extensive consultation, I have come to the conclusion that it is necessary, it is important, and it is urgent for us to make this deployment. And I am confident that the men and women in this force have been prepared adequately to be able to discharge their mandate, to carry our Kenyan flag. And I have been careful when I was handing over the flag to the commander that you have our support and our prayers. I also thank everyone on behalf of the people of Kenya, and I want to assure you that we do not take your role and contribution for granted, including the gallant sacrifices you embrace for our benefit.
And at the same time, the Cabinet Secretary for Industrialization and Investment, Moses Kuria, has promised to work around the clock with local and international partners and investors to make Kenya attractive for investment and a hub for industrialization. Kuria promised to create millions of job opportunities all over the country for the unemployed youth in various sectors of investment, thus fulfilling the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto agenda. The CS says that he wants all Kenyans to afford clothes that are fully made in Kenya, as this will be an avenue of creating employment opportunities in the textile industry. Kuria spoke during the unveiling of 100 square meter godowns built by a private investor that will see business thrive in the region.
Means jobs, that means greater incomes for Kenyans, that means investment, of course, and it means growth. We're very, very proud of that partnership.
We are working with South Africa to be the main drivers of to unlock any obstacles that are come on the way of the African continental free trade area, so that even businesses that are going to operate from ALP, not only can they be able to satisfy the local market, but take advantage of the huge potential that exists within the African continent. I want to give every Kenyan young woman and man an opportunity to be able to make their own clothes and sell the rest to Julians and the people of the United Kingdom. That is a conversation we need to have. We need to have meaningful conversation about how to change this country and create real wealth and income for our people.
Right, let's switch gears to matters education now. And parents of Ngangati Primary School in Kitui South constituency have decried the dilapidated condition of the entire learning institution, which hosts more than 100 pupils ranging from grade 1 to class 8. The school has only 3 classes, forcing the rest of the students to be taught under shades of trees. Parents gathered at the school yesterday to put up grass-thatched mudded classrooms, which can at least host the pupils for a while as they wait for the government's intervention.
Sababu na wahisani wote wanaweza kutusaidia. Hata hii shule iko na walimu 5.
Tuko na mashida ya madarasa, watoto wetu wanasomea chini ya miti. Sasa leo tukaamua tukuja tutengeneza madarasa kupitia kwa maneno ya mwalimu wetu mkuu. Akaona vile watoto wetu wanateseka wakiwa madarasani, ni shida wakati wa mvua wanawekwa kwa class moja, hiyo siku hakuna kusoma hadi mvua wakati utaisha.
Tumefaulu kutengeneza madarasa matatu ingalao wanafunzi waache kusoma kwa miti, waweze kusoma pale kuna kivuli na bila upepo na vumbi, ingalao hao wajihisi kuwa wanafunzi wengine. Na pia ningesihi serikali, hao wanafunzi wana haki kama wale watoto wengine kule sehemu zingine. Pia hao wapewe at least nafasi ya kusomea kwa darasa.
And to some matters, CBC, a section of Mombasa residents, has raised concerns at the ongoing evaluation of the competency-based curriculum that kicked off Monday countrywide. The residents opine that the process is a waste of taxpayers' money and that CBC cannot fully be implemented. The residents have further raised concerns on the junior secondary school transition, saying it will marginalize students from the underdeveloped parts of the country.
Mara kuko natembea ini kusumbua wazazi mara mbili mara tatu.
Day school hazitoshi na nyuma unasema watakana watoto wote wanaomaliza 6 waende junior second. Kwa hili jambo haliwezekani. Kwa hivyo tuwasema badala ya kupoteza pesa za hili jopo, zile pesa za hili jopo wasaidie wale watoto maskini wanaokwenda university. Hizi pesa ambazo zitatumika kwa jopo ni pesa nyingine zitapotea. Sababu jopo mwisho wake natija watakaoifikia ni hii ninayosema mimi. Haiwezekani CBC, haiwezekani. Hii ni kudhulumu watu wanyonge na madhaifu.
Wale watu wa mashambani watabaki katika zile shule za mashambani ambazo zimekuwa marginalized miaka yote. Hawatapata zile shule nzuri, hawatapata ile quality education ambayo pengine mtoto wa bara wa Nairobi ataipata, kwa sababu hatuwezi kuchukua watoto wa grade 6 kumpeleka Nairobi. Mtoto aliyeko Ganze kumpeleka Nairobi huwezi kupeleka grade 6. Kwa hivyo zile shule nzuri ambazo zimekuwa established kitambo na huku kwetu ambao kumekuwa marginalized, watoto watakuwa marginalized miaka yote kwa sababu wa CBC.
System haina msaada wote, ni shida tupu. Mtoto analetewa lete ungo, jioni analetewa lete maembe, jioni nyingine mara kuko natembea ini kusumbua wazazi mara mbili mara tatu.
And in the same breath, the stakeholders responsible for children's rights have been urged to work together to ensure children access to justice. This was said during the launch of the annual Child Justice Service Month held at the Kerugoya Children's Court. Justice John Mutugi from Lands and Environment Court presided the event, saying that there is need to safeguard children's rights. In cooperation with the Office of the Public Prosecutions, the Ministry of Education advocated for setting up of the police protection units for children, the county government rescue centers, and urged the society to allow children to participate in matters that concern them.
Kerugoya School of the Deaf, children from our jobs as magistrates.
As I observed earlier, the children actually are the heartbeat of our nation, because if we do not take care of our children, then we are not taking care of our future. You represent the future, and your welfare must take very, very high priority in the things that we do as a society.
We want to find time and make sure that these children access our courts with minimum inconvenience.
Sometimes we forget to highlight their issues because we assume that those who have responsibilities of taking care of them, they are doing the right thing. But we all know that that is not right. There are so many children who need protection.
And some other matters now. Thousands of residents of Gatundu North constituency in Kiambu County living downstream of Karimenu Dam in Gatundu North have expressed their frustration, which they have gone through for the last 1 year since the river Karimenu was directed to fill its water to the dam, saying the source of water has been drained and they were left without this natural resource. However, they're demanding that the government finds a way to connect them to the water, saying it is awkward for other citizens in other areas across the city to benefit from the dam, and the custodians of the dam to live without it.
Jengo tulikuwa tunatumia maji ya Karimenu, mto Karimenu, lakini sasa vile damu ilijengwa, maji kafungiriwa, kutoka Bushana hatuna maji. Bushana, Kariwa hakuna maji. Tuna shida sana ya maji.
Lakini hakuna mtu hapa amesapata, na ukienda huko taona maji inamwagika tumbure. Hata tulifanya mkutano hapa Kariwa hii. Hapo kuna jengo matangi. Kuja tukaambiwa na hawa watu wa water watatengeneza vile tutakunywa maji, lakini ni uongo mtupu.
Vile itafanya itusaidia na maji. Ndio hakuna jibu lolote tuko na ya hii maji.
From now we think how we can change the way when you have dam in a certain area, we change it. Those people who belong there, the villagers there, they first benefit with that water, with that dam, before taking the water to the other places.
And to some business matters, the Aga Khan Foundation, in collaboration with the European Union, has conducted a training to the youth in the coastal part of Kenya about business in a bid to solve the problem of unemployment among the youth. The 2-year program was kicked off after the emergence of COVID-19, which dealt a major blow to many businesses. Speaking during one of the training sessions, Aga Khan Foundation coordinator Stella Wambua said they intend to give out loans to 60 youth from Kwale, Mombasa and Kilifi counties to help fund their business ideas. However, the youth have also been encouraged to seek funding from the government instead of waiting to be employed.
Anzisha hii mradi ili kusaidia jamii kukabiliana na janga la corona. Kwa hivyo one of the component kwa hii project ilikuwa kupeana mafunzo kwa vijana ili waweze kuweza kukabiliana na hali ya ukosefu wa kazi, kwa sababu tunajua that time there was massive loss of employment.
Jambo ambalo nilijifunza ni kujua changamoto za biashara. Hapo mwanzo ilikuwa mara nyingi ilikuwa sijajua changamoto za biashara.
Nimepata haya mafunzo katika hii training. Moja, nimeweza kuelewa kuwa si lazima niketi katika biashara moja wakati na nikiona kuwa haifanyi vizuri. Naweza endelea kubadilisha biashara nyingine, kwa sababu ideas nimeelezwa na zimekuwa nyingi, na naweza kuimplement hizo ideas mpaka niweze kuona biashara inaendelea vizuri.
Wale pia ambao leo pia watafaidika na sema kama hizo funding wasikufa moyo, kwa sababu kwa maofisi kwetu pia kuna hizo pesa. Jana wa Kwale hawataki kuenda kwa maofisi za serikali kwa inquire which funds are there. Lakini pale kuna uwezo fund, kuna youth fund, kuna pesa ngapi, hizo pesa ziko pale zote. Kwa hivyo nikasa kuhimiza kwamba wajue pesa peke yake hazipatikani kwa mashirika, kwa serikali pia hapo kuna pesa mingi sana. Wakijishikana vizuri pamoja wote hivi kama ni kikundi, wanakuja wanapata pesa. Pia niwaambie pia wasikuwa wanataka kutegemea pesa ambazo sisi kulipwa.
Well, let's cross over to the Lake region now. In the United States, Africa Development Fund, USAID, has invested $100,000 for the construction of a community mini hydroelectric power plant in Ugunja Sub-County, Siaya County. Speaking in the governor's office in Siaya Town, Siaya County Governor James Orengo confirmed that the project will benefit over 300 families within Magoya, Konjira and Hareka villages. Orengo, who was flanked by his deputy William Oduol, said that his government was ready to sign a memorandum of understanding with USAID that will create a partnership that will improve health, food security and water, as well as youth and women empowerment.
Put forward some key points or pillars, 9 of them, but for purposes of today we can mention the pillar of health, food security, of water, provision of water, and youth and empowerment of women. And we are looking forward to deeper and broader relationship with you, sir.
USAID is really aligned to what the governor has just shared around shared prosperity. This is something that is really important to us. USADF has been in Kenya since 2011, and the work that we do is to provide community grant funding in different areas that are focused on the areas that the Honorable Governor has just spoken about, and focused around agriculture, looking at issues on food security, looking at issues around what we call our youth and entrepreneurship portfolio, which is really focused on job creation, looking at empowerment, looking at underserved populations, women who perhaps may not have access to some of the financial tools that others have.
And speaking of projects, residents from a drought-stricken community at Magogoni area in Kauma Sub-County, Kilifi County got relief after receiving a water project from a new investor in the area. This project will allow them to save on the expenses that they used to incur for them to get a jerrycan of water. As the investor says, the borehole water will be free of charge, and in future he will start connecting it to homesteads. The Chinese investor has also set up a factory to process the manganese minerals, hence creating jobs for the local community. Sharif Adam, a foreman with the company, said that at least 30 local youth will be employed in the first phase of the project, and thereafter the number will go up. The employment opportunities are expected to reduce petty crimes in the area, such as stealing of goats, as the youth will now be engaged economically.
Washukuru sana mradi ambao umeletwa hapa. Mimi ni mzee mojawapo katika hii kijiji. Watu wangu wameteseka sana. Muda mwingi hatupati maji. Wengine kina mama walikuwa teseka, hata kuoga kwenye ilikuwa shida. Kwa hivyo tutashukuru kwa muda huu mradi ambao umeletwa hapa. Mimi natoa shukrani sana. Nataka Mungu ajalize tena hata kama miradi mingine iletwe hapa. Kwa sababu tulikuwa tupata shida.
This is the first step to offer the free water. Actually, I stayed in Africa for a long time. I know we want to do for company culture. We do not only in Kenya, we also do the same in the other countries of Africa.
And to the wonderful world of sports, and we do begin with some rather sad state of affairs. Kenya first ever Olympic Games medalist Wilson Kipregut Chumo passed on earlier today, aged 84. Kipregut won the country's first medal at the 1996 Tokyo Olympics, bagging bronze in the 800 meters, and he won 2 gold medals in the 400 and 800 meters at the inaugural All-Africa Games in 1995. Kipregut collapsed in his Kericho home and was